the thing with sleep deprivation is that it causes a huge amount of stress. It floods your body with the stress hormone that's called cortisol, and that increases your risk of things like heart disease, obesity, diabetes, even things like Alzheimer's dementia. And if you get less than 5 hours of sleep consistently every night, your risk of early death goes up by 15%.
It's so serious.
15%, that is a big figure, isn't it? So what are some tips that we can use to improve our sleep patterns then?
So when I'm talking to families about sleep for their kids, I actually say the same principles can apply to the adults. And it's all about healthy habit formation, and it's also about making sure that you use the daily rhythms that already exist in our bodies. Now, I like to use this thing that I call the 3 C's of cozy sleep. So that's the cues, the conditions, and the context. So that's the cues, the conditions, and the context. So just let's take cues. Like with kids, what we would do is we'd signal that it's bedtime. So do that for yourself. Make sure you set the same time every night, more or less, so you get used to it, and start winding down a couple of hours before. So dim the light, put that phone away. Instead, draw yourself a nice warm bath, get into something cozy, make yourself a nice hot, non-caffeinated drink, and then get yourself a book and read yourself to sleep. Number 2 is the conditions. So by that I mean the environment, and make it conducive to sleeping. Now, people don't know this, but actually having a cooler bedroom temperature helps. So something around 18 degrees Celsius is really good. You want it to be as dark as possible, but if you can't have blackout blinds, don't worry. You know those cheap little eye masks? They work just as well.
I swear by them.
So do I. And finally, caffeine. Now, we all love a bit of caffeine, but actually, if you avoid it after the middle of the day, that's better for you because it won't make you get up in the night to pee, and it stops working after 6 hours, so you need to leave yourself a bit of time.
Yeah.
And the final thing is context, and that's all about how you're feeling, so your mood and your emotions as you're getting ready for sleep. So when you're doing that wind down in the last couple of hours, don't read your email and see all the stuff that's stressing you out at work, and instead just put on some music, chill out. Don't do that kind of high-intensity workout that'll get your blood pumping. Just do some stretching, do some breathing exercises. And what I always say is don't pick that time to have that argument with your partner that you've been putting off the whole day, and instead just talk about things that you're grateful for and, you know, all that lovely stuff that you may have not caught up on in the day.
There's simple advice, but it's actually just doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having the motivation to do this, and it will get better. Your sleep can get better. Outside of that, if it is really serious, what help is available?
So, for me, I always think that things like prescriptions for sleeping pills should be a last resort.
Yeah.
So, of course, you know, try everything that I've said and try and get to the bottom of why it is that you think that you're not sleeping well. But of course, you know, people go through tough times. If you need a sleeping pill prescription, you can get one and your GP will prescribe it to you. But
just to get into a routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you want to watch out for is dependency issues. So
Yeah.
try not to use them for longer than 1 or 2 weeks at a time. But other things that can help are herbal things, so things like valerian tea or even lavender.
I love a lavender tea.
no,
I light a candle as well.
Oh, beautiful.
I love lighting a
Yeah.
candle. I got cozy
romantic.
just listening to you talking about it.
Just your voice works, yeah. Dr. Good, thanks. Some useful stuff there for sure, because it's a serious situation if you're not getting your sleep. Still to come this morning, ex-England rugby player Hugo Monia tells